Causing death or serious injury by dangerous or careless cycling is to become an offence after the government agreed to a change in the law. Under the change, dangerous cyclists could face up to 14 years in prison. Speaking in the House of Commons yesterday, Tory MP Sir Ian Duncan-Smith actually referred to this programme. He said he wanted to raise the case after hearing Matt Briggs speak on this programme. Matt Briggs' wife Kim was killed by a cyclist, as he described to us in detail. Well, Chris Boardman is an Olympic and world champion, gold medalist, and a big advocate of cycling and walking, and joins us now. Chris, good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks so much for joining us. I know you've got a lot on, as we're going to get to. There's a lot going on that you're talking about at the moment that's in the news. We'll come to that. But what do you make of this proposed change, Chris?
I struggle with talking about it, to be honest, and I'll tell you why. My mother was crushed to death by a driver, which a few years ago, which devastated our family, and we've not really got over it. She was one of 5 to die on the roads that day. And then the next day, there was another 5. I think there's a young lad in Birmingham who might have been killed yesterday. He'll be one of 5 yesterday. There'll be another 5 today. And there's over 1,700 deaths caused or involving vehicles every year, 30,000 killed or seriously injured. It's important that we say that because there are 3 involving, not necessarily caused, but 3 or less involving a bike rider. And as the Secretary of State said, this is such a tiny minority. More people are killed by lightning or cows. So I certainly don't object to everybody having to obey the laws of the road. I'm really disappointed by the focus on this, and I'm frustrated that we're not talking about how we save 5 lives a day.
When you say you're disappointed by the focus, do you think that it's basically these are harrowing, awful cases? You know, obviously you've got this dreadful personal experience of deaths through cycling, but do you think that we're basically getting it somewhat out of proportion, or do you think that we're not really understanding that, as one of the great advocates of the cycling community who came on this programme last week said, that regulating cycling is hard? It's only really North Korea that's regulated cycling in an aggressive way.
Well, I think we've got to look at the societal good and how we spend our time in Parliament, and how we focus our resource, and how we use the precious minutes we've got now on air when we've got 30,000 people killed or seriously injured involving vehicles every year. And we're actually here talking about something when you're in more danger from lightning or cows. And that same thing is joyous. It's good for society, and we put the focus on this minuscule negative thing. And absolutely everybody should obey the laws of the road, but is this really the best use of our time to be talking about this now?
I'm sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to ask you briefly about electric cycles as well, given you spent a lot of your life onto